Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to create a wintry set using a teal shade. So the teal greeny shade is going to be the rock star of our set today. That is Gemini's heart. And we've also got Food Coma from Madame Glam, and that's their nude. So that's going to be our nude base. I've also got some Urban Graffiti nails white and also a blooming gel, so we are going to bloom some colors together to create a really nice marble in just a second in the video. So first we're going to apply our base colors. So down we've got one nail that's going to be fully that greeny teal. I'm not too sure if it is a full-on teal, you know, like it's kind of giving me teal vibes, but I don't know if it's fully teal, but I will just refer to it as teal for the rest of the video probably. Then we've got 3 nails that are going to be fully nude, and then the last nail is going to be our not ombre. For once, there's actually no ombre in the set today, guys, for a change. But that's going to be our marbly nail, which I feel like I haven't done for a bit, so that's quite nice for a change. And we are going to marble together some teal and some white. So I'm going to apply a layer of the blooming gel, and you want to make sure you don't cure it, because once you're going to apply the gel polish on top of it, and that will help it bloom and make it look really nice and marbly. And there'll be no sharp edges anywhere where you've placed the gel, which is nice. So now that I've applied it, I'm grabbing my little palette there with my white and teal merged into one another, and just very slowly I just start applying it onto the nail. You want to make sure to be a little bit careful because you do have quite a lot of gel polish. So there, for example, I picked up quite a lot of gel, so I'm trying to move it about and kind of spread it where I want it. If at any moment you've placed the gel down and it's not quite where you want it, feel free to just put your brush into it, move it about, add some extra white or teal, whatever color you're using, in an area where you feel like it's kind of missing out. I feel like I've kind of got my video a bit too exposed today. I feel like I had my lighting in the wrong way, and it isn't really picking up that teal as much. I feel like in person the teal is a bit more darker, and I just feel like there's just some snippets of video where I'm like, oh, it's not really picking up very well what I'm doing. So I really apologize for that, guys. I'll try and explain as much as I can wherever there's bits where you can't really see properly. So we are going to do 2 layers of everything, excluding the marble nail, of course. And on the wet layer of that teal, we just quickly sprinkled some glitters. We've got a glittery sugar nail today. And I went through my collection. I tried to pick out a set of glitter that is the most similar to the actual color that we're using today. It's not perfectly matched, but it's the closest I could get it, and it's actually not too bad when you look at it in person. It's actually fits in quite nicely actually, so that's good. I was a bit worried because it's not often that I pick up greens, so I was a bit worried that I might not have a green glitter that might match up like this, but I do luckily, so that was really nice. So now for the next 2 nude nails, we're going to do a French tip. So we've done one, and then we're going to do another. Of course, same thing. I would do 1 layer on camera, and then I would do a second layer of the French tip off camera, and then we'll finish up the design in a second. I just start off with my nail art brush, trying to outline my smile line, and then I just color in the tip with my, I think the brush from the bottle, I think is what I've been using recently, just trying to be super quick. Whenever I go frame, it's just quickly to perfect any lines that I felt like I needed a bit closer to my face. I can perfect them and get them a bit neater or fix any little errors up. And now I'm just coloring in with my brush. You want to be very careful that you don't go over your smile line that you've just perfected, because it's like one of the most annoying things when that happens. So once you're happy, do your second layer, of course, cure everything. And for our French tip today, I wanted to add an extra little detail. So I'm going in with a dotting tool and some white gel polish that I showed earlier. It was the one from Nail Nails. And I'm just following that smile line, and I'm placing dots on the line where the nude and the teal green color meets. And I'm just going to do that on both of those nails. I was considering doing crystals instead, but I felt like I wanted to do a very easy, recreatable, subtle wintry set, nothing too crazy, so I thought white will be probably my best shot, and I haven't done one like that before, nor with crystals really, but I just thought it would be quite nice and different to try out for today. So we've got 2 nails done there. Now that that's cured and everything's good, we are going to start applying our top coat, and I'm using my matte top coat today on all those nails. I do end up actually trimming the video a little bit here because, as you just saw, I avoided those 2 dotted nails, and that's because for some reason that white is kind of smudging when I apply a matte top coat. So I always make sure to wipe the nails off first with a nail prep kind of cleaner wipe before I go in with my matte top coat. So all the nails are now matte and it's time for some sweater looks, guys. We're going to be completely over it by January with these sweater nails. I feel like every set that I'm doing recently is just sweater, sweater, sweater. So for this one, rather than doing sharp, you know, those very sharp edged patterns in the center, like a very sharp S, I'm kind of doing a bit more of a relaxed swirly S in the center. I hope you all know what I'm trying to say there. So once I do that, I then do 2 lines, one on each side, like the whole sweater look usually does. And then we do have a bit of an edge there that there's nothing there, so you can do all sorts. You can do dots, you can do dashes. I went for dashes today and I'm going to position them upwards, so it's almost like the dashes going upwards, and I'm going to do that on both sides. And once again, we're going to do it on both of our French tip nails. I only show you guys doing the one on the video, and the other one will be done off camera real quick. And I'm just gonna then grab a Glitterbels clear acrylic. You want to make sure it's a clear acrylic, because otherwise if you have a coloured one then it's going to cause issues with the gel polish that you're using. And then you want to sprinkle it on. I ended up actually picking up a swatch stick to find it easier to scoop up the actual clear acrylic, because I'm actually halfway down my bottle now of clear acrylics, so it's a bit hard to get down there. And you all know cover acrylics just come in these big pots, and eventually when you're halfway down it's quite hard to get down there. So I got a little scoop there to help me, and it was overall just nice little scoop to get the clear acrylic on. So here we've got 2 of our nails done. I was trying to move the light around because I felt like it was just being overexposed and you couldn't really see properly. It's almost like the closer I got, the worse it got. But I also wanted to be in shot and I wanted it to be very like close so you guys can actually see, but it's almost making it worse. I'm so sorry guys today, it was not working. So those 2 nails are completely done and we're not adding any extra crystals or anything later on. Now we're working on our marble nails. So for this one, I really wanted to do some snowflakes. So I'm using my Glitterbels Unbelievable Gel, which is a nail art gel which cures tack free. So we're going to have a sparkly, shiny snowflake on top of a matte background. I quite often like doing snowflakes or any other like patterned, or even when I stamp, I really like to stamp images on top of backgrounds that are quite busy, especially when they're matte, because it's almost like the matte kind of dims the image behind down. Like the marble's a bit dimmer now, it's not so much in your face, and then when you stamp something over it, it's almost like that's the center of attention and everything in the back is just an addition to the center, if that makes sense. I just love doing it. I feel like every so often when I stamped, well, I feel like I haven't done a stamp video in a while actually, like a proper stamping set, but whenever I sometimes did those, I feel like every so often I would chuck in a nail that has a super busy background, matte top coated with a image stamped in the center. Those are so fun to do. Trust me guys, if you have a stamping plate, go ahead, grab it right now and try it out, because it's so fun. Especially actually, don't know if you guys remember, if you're a regular, I did like a coffee set with stamping, and I did something very similar where the background was very busy and it was basically fully covered in coffee patterns, and then on top of it I think I stamped like a proper coffee image and coloured it in and everything, and it looked really, really cool. It's probably my favourite nail, that whole set, that one. So at the top, we did a snowflake, just some dots and a couple of lines, and we're going to do the exact same thing with our bottom one. If you're more creative with your snowflakes, then go ahead and add that extra touch. I went for the more easier route. I just kind of wanted to do something more simpler. I feel like I've been overcomplicating things, I think, with my nail design, so I thought I would do something a bit more simpler that doesn't require too much effort or skill or anything like that. Then after you've done your snowflakes, I felt like I just wanted some extra little details. So I'm just scattering a couple of dots here and there wherever I felt right, but make sure you don't do too much, because once again there is already a lot going on, and I mean those dots were probably very unnecessary, but they're there, so we're gonna have to roll with it. So here I've got a silicone little like bow making thing, and there's all sorts of different ways of doing your bows. I know you can use gel polish and builder gels and acrylic and all sorts. So for me, I decided today to grab the teal, because I really wanted the teal bow to match up with the colours that I'm using today. And I just went in, grabbed the brush from the bottle, I went mad inside, just colouring it in. It doesn't matter. I didn't take too much gel polish. It was just enough to cover the insides, and we will go in with another layer, and I'll just do that off camera, of this gel polish, and then once securing both layers, you'll notice that it's very hollow, and of course if you want to glue it onto your nail, it's going to cause a bit of a problem. So I then grabbed that clear acrylic that I already had out, and I just placed a very, very small amount, I mean just enough to cover it up really, in the back of the bow, and we basically got it all sorted. So there's me picking up that clear acrylic. And for this bit, you do not need to be skilled in any way with acrylic, like just enough to where you're able to pick up the clear acrylic, place it in the back of the bow, and job done. You don't require any sort of skill of trying to get the ratios done. If you've picked up a bead that's way too wet, so be it, just spread it around where you need it and quickly clean your brush so it doesn't set in your brush, and just let it set in the bow. Or if you did like a really dry one, then you just have to add an extra couple of beads. Like there's literally no skill required for this bit, so don't be worried if you are not really familiar with acrylic or been kind of trying to shy away. I just feel like anybody can do this bit. So once you're happy and it's all kind of just set in stone and it's all, dried up, you can just start pinching the sides and moving the silicone around, and the bow basically comes out. So here it is. It's got a couple of rough edges, but just grab some tweezers, pick at it, and it will just snap off very neatly, snap off, and then you've got yourself a really, really pretty bow. And I think it's such a great way, these silicone molds, just like stamping, where you can amend colors and everything to match the set you're doing, and it worked so well today. I have no bows or charms or anything like that to match up with teal. Basically, I don't have any teal stuff or green stuff for that matter, so having that was so nice, and I was able to tie it very neatly and well into the design. So for this nail, I was going for a bit of like a present vibe, so a big bow in the center, and maybe I might have or should have probably picked a bit of a smaller bow, maybe that medium one rather than the largest one. Then I'm going to do a couple of AB crystals, just going all the way up and all the way down the nail, and then off camera I just add a couple of caviar beads in between each crystal just to finish it up, and that's basically the set done, guys. I love this nail design, this bow one in particular, so you'll definitely see me do it again with a different set, maybe like on the red set, like a proper present vibe kind of set. Who knows, it will look so cute. We can make as many bows as we want. So yeah, here I took off the last AB crystal because I felt like it was a bit too much. I'm going to finish it all up with the caviar beads. I'm going to show you them in just a sec. Here they are, and then pop it into the lamp, and here are the final results. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.